during the 1950s, for example, there was an S.R. Rao who was in charge of the Taj Mahal, and there was a crack in the wall. And in that crack, he had to break open some of the bricks to, get a better access in repairing the wall. But then inside, he saw that there were images of some of the divinities of Hinduism, Vedic culture. And so he went to his authorities in Delhi and said, which included Nehru, by the way, and he said, what should I do? And they just said, patch up the wall and keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anybody about this.
Namaste. Welcome to Chitti Media. I'm your host Kamal Madi Shetty. The Taj Mahal was recently in the news after a petition was filed in the Allahabad High Court seeking to uncover the truth with respect to the 22 doors to the Taj Mahal's basement, which has long been kept a secret. Unfortunately, the court did not give permission to pursue any sort of an inquiry into this matter and, in effect, maintaining the secrecy around it. Now, to discuss this further and to delve deeper into this subject, we have with us today Stephen Knapp ji, also known as Sri Nandanandana Dasaji. He is a world renowned scholar and author who has written extensively on this subject. Today, we are going to discuss something that has been in the news in the last few days, which is the Taj Mahal. Now, we have seen that there was a petition in the court seeking the truth about the 22 locked rooms in the secret basement under the Taj Mahal. But unfortunately, the court has refused to give permission to uncover what is behind this. Now, to understand this and to delve deeper into this subject, we have somebody who is very well known, and his views are well known on this subject. He is a very renowned Vedic guru, and he's joining us today. And he is Stephen Knapp ji, also known as Sri Nandanandana Dasaji. Namaste, Guruji. Welcome.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Guruji, first of all, I would like to ask you about this whole issue that has been in the news about the Taj Mahal. We in India, especially young people, know very little about it. Can you tell us what exactly are these 22 rooms, and why haven't they been open to the public?
Well, the 22 rooms are expected to be apartments, and apartments underneath the Taj Mahal where either royalty or servants could stay and live and help maintain the premises and also the functions that went on there. I mean, the whole idea is that the Taj Mahal was once a palace or possibly a Shiva temple. And of course, you have areas just near the Taj Mahal itself where on the grounds where there was servants' quarters. There's all these rooms and stuff, even outside the Taj Mahal. So why would that be necessary for a mausoleum? You also have the well that goes down several stories deep, which you can see near the what's called the drum room or the music room, which is also a section just across from the Taj Mahal. Which another thing is, why would a music room be necessary for a mausoleum? So, but the well goes down several stories where other floors of the Taj Mahal could reach and have access to drinking water. So the whole idea is that if there's nothing to hide, then why not open it up? Because many people feel that within these rooms are basic elements, whether artistic elements on the ceiling, the walls, or whatever, or there could be some, secret images, deities, things like that are in the rooms as well. Naturally, I wouldn't put a whole lot of faith in finding something that extraordinary in the rooms themselves. I pretty much base my conclusions on the history of India, such as the chroniclers of the Mawad Ghazni, when he first started entering India many years ago. It's recorded that they were very surprised at seeing domed structures and very impressed because obviously the invaders at the time did not have access to texts like the Shulba Sutras or the Kalpa Sutras, even, which are very exact in the designs and the mathematical formulas that are necessary to create the designs of temples, altars, and different structures to enhance the consciousness of the participants of those Vedic traditions. Because I've always said, like, the Indian temples are like launching pads for humanity. You go in there and it helps bring your consciousness up to a higher level and ultimately to commune with God. So the Taj Mahal is also built in such a fashion, and the whole point of having apartments, 22 additional apartments in the lower levels of the Taj Mahal, is something that should be investigated. I'm not sure exactly how much they'll find, as I mentioned, but there are aspects that should be open to investigation. There's no doubt about that. And the apartments are one of them. So if they can go down there and see what is there, that's great. But I think there's more emphasis that should be placed on the history of the Taj Mahal being built by, say, the Rajput Mansingh, for example, or the peacock throne that was given credit to Shah Jahan, which was actually acquired by Shah Jahan from the King Jai Singh. So there's these kind of references that we could go into that actually point more clearly into the real origin of the Taj Mahal.
Absolutely, Stephen G. Thank you so much for sharing that. In fact, I was looking up and reading some of the work that has been done on this particular topic, and I came across, and I'm sure you could throw some more light on that. There have been cases where, the gates to these, the basement, that was sent for, carbon dating, and it was found to be much older than the Taj Mahal. I mean, the structure at the top itself. And there are several other things that scholars have cited. For example, a lot of structures around it are all made of sandstone. And we see that a lot of structures just merely have a dome that has been imposed upon it later on. And there are similar pictures and many other aspects which have been studied. Can you share some of these things that different people have shared from time to time?
Yeah, in fact, on my YouTube channel, I have actually two videos of Marvin Mills, Professor Marvin Mills, who's the great architect, which did a lot of research into the Taj Mahal. And he was able to take a piece of the doorway,
Right.
which is situated near the Jamuna River. And after carbon dating that, he found that it predates the era of Shah Jahan by at least 200 years. I mean, it's
Right.
expected, or it's said that Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal in about 1652, but the doorway itself was carbon dated to exist 200 years before that. So the whole point is that, and this video by Marvin Mills, he gives a lot of slides, pictures, and information on the Taj Mahal itself. The audio is not that very good, but it gives a lot of information. Then there's another one which is a sit-down interview with somebody he did, and I think it was in 2004 or something like that, uh, not long before he died, and he gives a very straightforward understanding of his perspective of the Taj Mahal as well. So there's many people that have come up, and of course, let's not disclude P.N. Oak on this, because he was the original pioneer that started to show, different aspects of how you could tell the Taj Mahal is not a Islamic building. It's basically incorporates many different Vedic aspects in it, and you can go around the Taj Mahal itself and see various aspects, whether it's the Trishula, whether it's the lotus flower above the arches, or whether it's the datura flowers on different panels around the Taj Mahal. In fact, I've got some of my own datura flowers that grows next to my house here. And some of my Indian friends, when they came over, they said, "Oh, these are offered to Lord Shiva in India." And so it's interesting because here they're called moonflowers, which can also be a reference to Lord Shiva in a way. So these are different aspects of what would be incorporated into a Shiva temple. Plus, the whole idea of having the main shrine for a Shiva linga in there. But uh, anybody who has awareness of what to look for can actually begin to spot so many different aspects of the Vedic tradition and Vedic elements within and around the Taj Mahal.
Guruji, I wanted to ask you about the connection with Raja Jai Singh. I think Shah Jahan's own account mentions about how this site was, and this place was very precious to Raja Jai Singh. And could you share your views on that as well?
Well, yeah, there's a page, a couple pages actually, from his book Bhajanam, I think it is, something like that. I'm probably tearing up the name a bit, but in that book, it explains how he acquired the Taj Mahal from Rajai Singh. And so it's in the chronicles themselves. And it's interesting because many of the Islamic invaders did have their own chroniclers
Right.
that recorded the events as they happened, mostly to glorify the invaders,
Yeah.
but actually revealing information which shows how they usurped or took over different areas of India, different buildings, different structures like that. And there's many, many different structures that they had. I mean, it's some of it's pretty bloody. Some of it's when they talk about, you know, killing thousands of Hindus, making mountains of skulls until the rivers flowed with blood. I mean, some of these chroniclers are pretty brutal. But and I talk about that, and I just present some of that in my book, Crimes Against India, which is now not only available in English, but it's also just recently available in Hindi, both as a Kindle ebook and as a paperback book. So for those people that want a cheaper or less expensive edition of Crimes Against India, you can get that from Amazon now in India. Um, and also, I present a lot of information on the Taj Mahal, including what we're talking about right now, in my book, Taj Mahal on an Alternative History of the Shiva Temple. And anybody can get that. Also, it's an ebook so it's available as a Kindle ebook on Amazon. But it has several different articles from several different perspectives on what the Taj Mahal is, plus a chapter from P. Oak himself, and a lot of the pictures which supply the photographic evidence of what we're talking about, the different elements around the Taj Mahal, which shows its Vedic influence and stuff. So all that is easily available for a few dollars on the Kindle version in Amazon, and that'll give you a complete rundown of what it has, the evidence of what it has to offer, as far as showing that it was never an Islamic building. It was never a mausoleum. It was never meant to be a mausoleum. Let's put it that way. And anybody can find that of interest if anybody's interested in this topic. So there's a lot of information to share, quite honestly. Uh, so the history of the Taj Mahal, especially going back to Man Singh and then Jai Singh, can show explicitly how it was basically a building, and who wouldn't want to own the Taj Mahal, you know?
Yeah.
So when the Muslim invaders came, such as Shah Jahan, his intention was to take it over. And of course, so one of the techniques of claiming it is to make it into a mausoleum, which means it's now sacred. It's Islamic holy ground, so to speak. Nobody can argue with the intention of it. But actually, the history of it goes back far deeper than that, and it shows exactly much more clearly what the origin of the Taj Mahal and the purpose of the Taj Mahal really was.
Absolutely, Stephen G. It is so puzzling, and it is surprising that we know so little about something like this in the popular public discourse in India. Can you, before we conclude this conversation, I also wanted to ask you, what can the government do, really to uh, pursue an honest inquiry into something like this? Because every people, I mean, people have the right to know their history, and sort of have and not have roadblocks in front of them in the way that we have seen recently. So what do you think should be done?
Well, I think the government should open it up. It should be opened up to investigation. If people really want to know the history of India and the glories of what Vedic culture is, I mean, there's so many different temples in India which show the glories of what Vedic culture had to offer architecturally. What to speak of so many other areas, whether it's Vastu, whether it's Jyotish, whether it's Ayurveda, and of course yoga. We can't forget that. So understanding the significance of the architectural abilities of the ancient Indians certainly adds to the glory of the Indian history, the Indian culture, Vedic culture. And so the government itself should open it up to investigation and understand that during the 1950s, for example, there was an S.R. Rao who was in charge of the Taj Mahal, and there was a crack in the wall. And in that crack, he had to break open some of the bricks to, get a better access in repairing the wall. But then inside, he saw that there were images of some of the divinities of Hinduism, Vedic culture. And so he went to his authorities in Delhi and said, which included Nehru, by the way, and he said, what should I do? And they just said, patch up the wall and keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anybody about this. So there's all these different aspects which should be opened up for investigation to get a clear understanding of what the Taj Mahal really was, and also to add to the glory of what the Vedic tradition and the Vedic sciences had to offer humanity. I mean, that's how I look at it. I'm not interested in taking over a building because it belongs to somebody else or something, but I'm just saying that this is a means of understanding the true antiquity and the glories of what India has always had to offer humanity since time immemorial.
Absolutely, Stephen G. I think you've put it very correctly, and thank you so much for sharing your insights on this subject.
Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net.